Hi, this video is a very high level description of the difference between Delta and Iceberg and ducklake. I'm only interested in the simplest use case, which is one writer. I'm using Python notebook and writing into one lake, but uh, it does apply to any other environment. There is nothing specific about one lake except maybe the mounted storage. So I upgrade ducklake. You need the latest version, which is 1.3.1. For Iceberg, I use the nightly build. So first, let's get some data. So I'm downloading from New York Taxi. It's not very original. Let's wait a bit. Okay, we got our data. Let's start with Delta. We're using the Python writer. It's called Delta RS because it's written in Rust, but we interact here using Python. It's the simplest way. It doesn't need catalog or anything because the storage transactions are handled by the object store itself. Basically, in the case of ADLS or uh, GCS like Google and S3 recently, there is something called put if absent. So if you write a file and you another writer try to use the same transaction, it can know that the table already exists. So it's extremely simple mechanism, but actually it works quite well for simple use case. For Iceberg, we're using Pyiceberg. The catalog we're using is SQLite. And here I'm writing to the table area of one lake. Keep in mind, as of this recording, you can try to one lake using the full path like ABFS. We use only the mounted storage, but it comes with limitation, and we'll show it later. And then we'll use ducklake. All right, let's refresh. Okay, as expected, we got three tables. We have delta table, and we have the ducklake, which the Explorer doesn't like because it's simply Parquet file. Um, Iceberg, it's not it's not there yet, at least in this particular use case. Like if you write from Snowflake, it works fine, but using Pyiceberg, because currently the only way, like one of, I would say the biggest issue with Iceberg, it doesn't support relative path, and currently we're using the basically relative path using the remote storage. I think there is two potentially solution. Either our Delta metadata generator needs to learn how to convert from local path, or just wait for Pyiceberg to start writing to Azure. Uh, I think it seems it will be released in the next major version. And then you have ducklake. And ducklake, the way it works is, I'll show you here. All the metadata and storage transactions are handled by database, so you get nothing. For Iceberg, it's different, and this is why some people are a bit confused about Iceberg. It's a mixed mode. View files. So for Iceberg, the metadata is generated in the storage, but you need the database just to switch between the latest snapshot. Basically the argument from ducklake people, it doesn't make sense. Like if you have a database, why just use it for everything? So that's the argument. I don't know if it makes sense or not. So let's go back to ducklake. The thing is, as long as one thing about table format, contrary to popular belief, like what matter really is the data format, not the metadata. Because once you have the data, you can easily generate metadata. Like you can generate either Delta or Iceberg. It may be a bit painful because it that extra latency, but it's like totally possible because it's not rocket science. It's just like schema and like the fields description and the type and so on. So here I'm using this package, which is it's mine, but it's built by AI, so I'm not. Yeah, okay, it's self promotion. So let's just try it. And let's see if it works. There we go. And it's Delta. Basically, the Delta readers, they don't care what's written in the data as long as it's used some particular format. They will just read it. Again, so the Iceberg thing is probably it will get fixed eventually. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so it works. Now okay, let's close Twitter. Here is the interesting part. Because the ducklake use relative path, you can change the root path. So here, and I found this maybe very interesting design decision from ducklake. So you can define the data path, and the data path, like the root of the table, can be different when you write and when you read. So here, because I cannot read using the local path, because here I'm on my laptop, I just change and say use the full ABFS path, and it should work. It will take some time. The reason is for this latency, like literally I think the region is in North Europe somewhere, and I don't know, maybe 20,000 kilometer away. So yeah, 20 seconds. Okay, it's not bad. So this is the ducklake which is here. So to repeat, here the ducklake is as far as Fabric is concerned is a delta table, but here it's just proper ducklake. So let's run a query. The first run will be slow. Maybe 20 seconds or something. We'll see. But because duckdb support file cache, yep, so 26 second. Let's run it second time. Yep, 200 millisecond. Again, I don't know. There is I don't understand why. I think it's coming, but with anything with Iceberg, it will take years. Like the support for relative path is extremely important because in real life, like if you want to move data from one place to another, and currently with Iceberg, the only way is to rewrite the metadata, which is not very optimal. The second argument is maybe if you, for Iceberg, if you require a database, maybe use it to the full extent, just maybe. Like for me, I can understand Delta, at least for now. They said you don't need catalog, and that's fine. And we use just storage for transactions. But Iceberg is mixed, like we write metadata, but still we need a database. So, but anyway, I just this is like just high level, and it's mixture like of rent and some like facts. And yeah, I hope you find this presentation useful, and thanks for listening. Bye.